If there's a part of you that's worried about losing yourself when you get into a relationship, you are going to love this, because I'm going to share with you 7 subtle things you should never do for a man in a relationship that will help you stay center stream to who you are. Check it out. Now, these are not your typical don't loan him money or don't text him 47 times after a date type of tips that you hear online. What we're going to be talking about are the subtle, sneaky things that amazing women do that feel loving, they feel generous, but they actually result in us losing ourselves in the relationship. The first thing to never do in a relationship is never be his wife preview. And what this means is there's a version of you when you are a wife, and there's a version of you when you're just dating and you're not yet committed. And the challenge is, if you're loving, you're caring, you're giving, what we tend to do is say, well, if I just show him what it's like to be with me in a wife version of me, he's going to want that. He's going to want to commit. And a lot of women fall into this trap. So they start spending nights at his place before they're really ready for it. If you want to, go for it. But if it's before you're ready, honor yourself. They start cooking for him. They start then doing grocery shopping. They'll start running errands, or they'll do his laundry, fold his laundry, and you're not even exclusive yet. And the challenge is, we'll think this will work. Why? It's the thought that, well, if I show him how great I am as a partner, he will want to commit. No, that is actually not how it works. Men don't commit because of what you do for them. They commit because of how they feel when they're with you, and the two of you having a shared vision, him seeing you as his partner. And when you give girlfriend or wife privileges before he's committed, his own attraction diminishes. Why? You've removed the pursuit. You've removed the progression of the relationship. You've removed any investment that he needs to make to actually earn the right to receive those beautiful benefits in the relationship of the two of you being partners. When he earns it and he invests in it, then he values it way more. And the other side of that coin is that when you give so much investment without him investing, it actually subtly shows that you've devalued yourself, because low self-esteem people try to earn the favor of other people by overgiving, and it actually comes across as, oh, they might not have as much self-esteem as I thought they did, and the whole attraction will go down. The second thing you never want to do for a man is be his excuse maker. If you ever find yourself decoding his behavior, right? Like, oh, he hasn't texted in 3 days. He's probably just super busy at work. Like, it's all good. He said he doesn't really want a relationship, but maybe he does want a relationship. He can still cuddle with me. Like, maybe he's just scared. He just needs to see how great I am, and then he'll want a relationship. Things like that. You do not want to make excuses for him. Maya Angelou said this: when someone shows you who they are, trust them the first time. These guys, they're going to tell you who they are. They're going to tell you they don't want a relationship. They're going to tell you all the things about them. Your job is to trust them and not make excuses. So do not play translator. What you want to do is play truth teller. I call this the silent movie test. Believe what he is telling you, not just what you hope he means. Third thing you never do for a man, never teach him how to treat you with silence. You can teach him how to treat you. And in fact, we teach people how to treat us by the treatment we're willing to accept. But what you don't want to do is coach him with the silent treatment. And this one is sneaky, right? A lot of times we'll get upset. Maybe he canceled plans at the last minute. And instead of speaking up, you go quiet and you hope he's going to get the message. But masculine men, we don't speak hint. We speak with direct, honest, open communication. Silence doesn't teach. It's actually confusing. You're kind of leaving it up to him to interpret what it is that you mean. The quality of our relationships can be measured in the number of uncomfortable conversations we're willing to have. And so you teach him how to treat you, how to be in this relationship with open, honest communication when there's a disconnect. Because the bottom line is you deserve to be in a relationship where your needs can be voiced and valued. His needs can be voiced and valued, and the two of you come together. Number 4 goes along those same lines, and is this: never say I'm fine when you're not. So in other words, you never dial down your own needs in a relationship for the sake of not rocking the boat or for the sake of keeping him comfortable. Your needs and feelings matter and are valid. And so when we say, oh, everything's fine when we're really not, we are masquerading. We're being easygoing. And this ultimately creates disconnection. And it's easy to do because in the beginning you're like, well, do I really share what's going on or do I not? Yes, share what's going on because it is hard to scare off the right guy. It is hard to screw up the right thing. So rest easy in that. Use it as an opportunity to see if he has the capacity to hold emotional state with you. And so let's say that he forgot something important and made a joke, like he kind of got defensive and made a joke, and that joke stung. And so you're feeling hurt, but you brush it off and you're like, it's fine, no big deal. So what happens next is then inside, we get secretly resentful. He's thinking everything's great. And the emotional intimacy starts to break down. The beautiful thing about relationships is that intimacy grows where there's honesty, allowing yourself to really be seen. And I know it's scary, but this is where you let yourself be who you are. You're not losing yourself. You let yourself be seen. You let him meet you where you are. And the two of you create an even stronger bond together. Number 5, never apologize for your standards. Ever say anything like this? I know this might sound like a lot, but I really value consistency. Or you preface it with like, I don't want to sound demanding, or I don't want to sound old-fashioned, but I prefer to wait to sleep together until we're exclusive. Those are subtle apologies for your standards. You want to stop right there. Your standards are not a burden. You can see them as a beacon. It's like, here is the pathway to earning the relationship with you. It's a blueprint for your happiness that the right man is going to rise up. The right man isn't going to see your boundaries as too much. He's going to see them as that blueprint, that pathway to saying, okay, here's what's going to deliver happiness. And he's going to be excited about that. He's going to respect it. He's going to say, okay, I think I can deliver that. I love it. Number 6 is never be Play-Doh, molding yourself to fit him and what he wants. When you feel that you're shape-shifting to match his tastes, his music or his schedule, maybe you're a morning person, but he likes to sleep in late, and so you sleeping in late now and staying up late, but it doesn't really feel like you. Or his worldview, like you're taking on his worldview, doesn't really align with your values. You might feel like, oh, I'm just being easy to love, or oh, I'm just exploring new possibilities, which is fine. But the challenge is if you don't stay anchored in really who you are, you're teaching your nervous system that love requires self-abandonment. In psychology, this is actually the root of anxious attachment behavior. We're trading our authenticity for acceptance of the other person. And long term, it ultimately breeds resentment. And it breeds burnout because we're not being ourselves. And then we end up resenting ourselves and the other partner for our choice to try to mold ourselves into what they want. Secure partners are attracted to clarity, not mimicry. Like they want you to have your own mind. For example, he might be a marathon runner. And so all of a sudden you love those 5 a.m. morning runs. Or he's keto. And so you don't really care for pasta anymore. You just want to do the keto thing. And 6 months in, you're exhausted, right? You're craving linguine and wondering why you're not feeling seen. There's a great example of this in a movie called Runaway Bride, where Julia Roberts and Richard Gere are having this conversation. They're in a relationship, but she's pulled away, and he's trying to help her understand that she doesn't even know who she really is. Check this out.
You were so lost you didn't even know what kind of eggs you like. Yes. Yes, that's right. With a priest, you wanted scrambled. With a deadhead, it was fried. With the other guy, the bug guy, it was poached. Now it's like, egg whites only. Thank you very much.
That is called changing your mind.
No, that's called not having a mind of your own. Maggie, what are you doing? You really want that guy up there to drag you up Annapurna for your honeymoon? You do not want to climb Annapurna!
Yes, I do!
And that really is the point, right? Where Julie Roberts is saying, I'm just changing my mind. And Richard Gere says, no, it's not having a mind of your own. And that's the line. You want to know who you are. You want to know what you like. And it's okay to explore other options as long as there's home base in you. And number 7 is you never want to be his pain reliever. In other words, an enabler or his coach or his therapist, where you take on the responsibility of relieving his pain. You can be his partner and his supporter and helping him navigate the challenges that he's going through. But when you take on the responsibility of helping him feel better, helping him solve this challenge, then you've moved to this dysfunctional place of enabling that behavior. And really, you're crippling his own growth by you solving it or you taking it on. And while this might seem like a fine line, it's actually pretty clear. And that is that a supporter empathizes, a supporter listens, a supporter asks questions like, would you love to brainstorm ideas? But once those ideas of the steps to take are on the table, you let him actually solve it. You let him be the one to make the phone call. You let him be the one to run the errands. You let him do those things, and you don't carry him through the challenge so that he can grow his own strength. Great relationships are both of you standing shoulder to shoulder, facing life together as you head up the hills of the challenges you're facing. It's not one of you dragging the other person saying, we're going to make it to the top. That's not great relationships. So there you have it. 7 things you should never do for a man that are subtle so that you can stay center stream to your own being. My question for you is, what are the things that you've noticed help you stay true to you when you're in a relationship and it's going really well and you really like this guy? Go and post that in the comment section below. Here is to you, to your amazing love life, to you expanding and emanating that love in the world. I appreciate you. Feel a hug from me to you, and I'll see you soon.